Okay, let's do it again. Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Inspirational Journeys Through Life with Nolan. I have a journey, you have a journey, but how many of us share our journeys to inspire others? Our journeys are authentic, and we know it will resonate with you. Please remember to like and share this content because the more people you share it with, the more valuable content we can bring to you. So today it's our pleasure and honor to welcome Roshini Pakkiree to our show Inspirational Journeys Through Life. Roshini is no stranger to post-traumatic stress, and she has served 27 years in the South African Police Services and has survived the ultimate pain of losing her only child. Roshini has spent most of her life using her personal and career experiences to motivate and inspire other people who have shared similar experiences. She is also the director of Toho Yando. I know I had a problem with this the last time, but it's Toho Yando Brewery. It's a division of SAB. She also studied police management at UNISA. She's also a published author of 2 books, and I think it's actually 3 books now, if I stand corrected. It's gone to 3 books, ladies and gentlemen. Her titles were A Life Altered, the subtitle, My Journey from Tears to Hope. The second book is Pieces of Us, subtitle, How Our Marriage Healed from Loss of a Child. She's also the founder of Sanjit Train of Hope Foundation, and Sanjit, by the way, is her late son. She started the foundation in memory of him because she realized that he was the type of person that likes to help others, meaning bringing hope to them as well. And I must read this quote of Roshini's that I'm very fond of. And it's a very simple quote, but it means so much. Make the best of your existence. Roshini, welcome to our show. You know, when I look back now, the last time you and I spoke was actually on the 3rd of Feb 2022. So it's just over a year ago.
Yes,
So
I
welcome.
remember it like yesterday.
And such an inspiring journey as well you shared back then with our audience. And, you know, I've been following you and so much has changed. I can see how you've grown as a person and how you're still growing, right? Because I believe you have this mindset that you're never too old or you're never too young to learn and grow. And if I look at what you're doing out there, it's absolutely amazing. And I just want to shout out to you for becoming the influential woman of 2021-2022, Stunning Goddess 2022. I'm sure the hubby is really excited about that. And now, currently, a semi-finalist for Mrs. South Africa 2023. This to me is a massive achievement, right? So let's go back. I want to go back before we come to Mrs. South Africa. Can you maybe enlighten us? What's your why for waking up every single day? You've been through so much in life, yet you're still persevering every single day.
Okay, firstly, because of my experiences, I realized that because in my 3rd book, actually, I talk about my journey from childhood to up until now. And I realized that there was a purpose, there was a reason for my life. And no matter how down or whatever situation I was in, I always found a way, even when I was 12 years old, to get up the next day after an experience and still feel that I still have so much to look forward to. And I'm a person, is like if I see a big rock in front of me, I just want to find out how do we jump over and go over this instead of looking at the actual climb. I just look at, I know that there's something, maybe if I move the rock, there's something bigger out there. And people that know me will know that is how I actually am. And that is the if I should say, my own personal principle of how I moved forward is to always looking beyond the rock, beyond the mountain. And so that actually, motivates me to get up every day, no matter what life is going to throw at me. I just say, I've reached a kind of a vanity in a different way where I say, bring it on. So, bring on the experience, and because I'm ready for you, because I'm equipped. so to speak. I feel that I've been trained for whatever has to come my way.
So, I just go back to the 12-year-old girl, right? Where you said, you've been learning from then how to overcome obstacles. And I'm sure a lot of the audience here today as well, so many people go through so many struggles, so many obstacles, but many of them don't know how to overcome it. People tend to just get stuck in it, and it affects them, right? It leads to depression, it leads to mental wellness issues, etc. How would you guide somebody, on how to overcome obstacles? Maybe give us some of the examples that you've been through and how you overcame those. What did you actually do?
Okay, when I talk about 12 years old, actually I don't want to give too much away about my book, but I had a near-death experience where I almost drowned, but I fought. It's like I literally fought to get out of the situation because it was like a swamp that was pulling me under, and I managed to grab onto the dry patches of the river. And it sounds like a movie, but it's actually true. It was in Greytown, in KwaZulu-Natal. And the reason I mentioned this because it was a start of where I realized that when I tried to grab this dry patches and make it through, I realized that spiritually, well, now I look at it, that time it was fear, but now I look at it and I realize, okay, there was a reason why I had to survive that, because I had to do so many other things and I had to learn so many other things. So what to answer your question is that when people find themselves in this bad situation, it's like there's a cloud in front of them and they don't see further because they only see what's right now, right here. But I'm like a fast forward. You know what? I got this fast forward personality. I'm like, okay, I wonder if I try harder, what is there later? So, we live through this cliche saying there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a cliche. It literally can happen. You just got to say, when I'm in a tunnel, I don't need to look right or left. I need to look forward, because right, there's monsters. Left, there's monsters. It's like you're in the tunnel and you see all of these things. But when you persevere and there is that light at the tunnel, and I always say this, and I don't, although I'm not a religious person, I'm more spiritual. I say that God wants you to persevere, because we all are in a test every day. And if you look at, the history of life, what has happened to me, I'm not the first. I'm the first, or I'm one of many, but I am also one of many who chooses that I know that there's something bigger than what is happening to you right now. There's always something bigger. And if you make it, people say when they get up in the morning, they say, thank you, God, for today that I'm alive. I just say, thank you, God, that you made me survive another day. Because when you experience tragedies, it's all about survival. And it's nothing new. What I'm saying is nothing new, because everybody experiences things, and we're going to experience things. So we need to find that way where it's like I say fast. I don't take things one day at a time, to be quite honest. I'm like, what happens after 5 days? And if somebody says after 5 days, this is what's going to happen, I look there. And it's a crazy thing, but this is how I do it. I don't look at left and right. I just look forward.
That's amazing. And it's such a good attitude to adopt as well, right? Because life is really such that we have to look ahead. We can't just live for the day. There's a lot of people that just live for the day, right? And, going back to these obstacles that we encounter as well, I guess what people don't realize that with every obstacle that we go through, there's a lesson to take out from it. And when we take that lesson and learn through that lesson or grow through that lesson, that's when we elevate ourselves. A lot of people just would rather go through those painful situations and stay stuck in that moment. And that moment becomes a year, the year becomes 5 years, then it becomes a lifetime where they are still stuck and in this depressive state where they don't want to do anything with their lives. Funny enough, we were having this chat last night about how obstacles make us stronger. And, to everyone listening out there as well, you need to just remember one thing: an obstacle is not there for no reason. It's there to guide us and teach us something about ourselves. So whenever you encounter an obstacle, and Roshni does this very well, is look at the obstacle, understand what you can learn from it, and how can you grow through this obstacle, not just go through this obstacle. And, talking about going through really tough times in life, I just want to talk a little about Sanjit because, he's the guy that's guiding us every single day, guiding you, right? And your whole family every single day. Can you tell us a little about the Train of Hope? I know you've started up that foundation in his name, and how's that going? And how did you decide? How did you and your husband decide to come up with Train of Hope?
Okay, so because my son passed when my son passed in 2017, okay, we gave ourselves a chance to register all of this. And so 2018 was like a tough, call it a year of registration, where we actually registered in our minds what had just transpired. And we realize now that there's no going back. There's no looking sideways, left or right. There's what do we do with the circumstance? And, what I want to say, something is very personal. It's like, because my husband, Marky, had lost his mum in 2010, I used to, because I knew he experienced a loss. So I used to ask him, when is this going to be better? When do we start to feel better? Because he had gone through a loss. So every day I would ask, so is it like, how many more weeks do we have to do this? How many more months? And it sounds very crazy, but that is a personal thing that I would like to share. Until one day I realized he's got his own journey to lead. With his loss of his child and his mum, he had his own journey, and my journey is not intertwined with his. I have to make my own journey here, and as much as he can guide me, he can't help me. So I needed to help myself. Then I realized, you know what, I needed to, because I lost my child at that tender age of 16, and where he was this kind person, literally will give his jacket away to girls on a rainy day and come home and say, oh, you taught me to be a giver. So I didn't know how to answer that, because, he was 16, but the talks that he had was like that of a 25-year-old. And so I realized, okay, my son was a giver. So I'm going to start this foundation by just giving. And you know what's different about my foundation compared to others, or the foundations that I've learned, is that our foundation, called the Sanjit Train of Hope, is purely funded by myself and my husband. We don't take donations. We don't take charities, because my son would have wanted us to give from our pockets. And so when people came forward and they said, listen, I want to give this to your foundation, we said, no. My son would have wanted us to give from our pockets, meaning our hard work. So I wanted his name to go far. So I started the foundation, and we called it the Sanjit Train of Hope, meaning providing hope to the hopeless. So in the rural areas, the business, together with us, we go to, we started with creches and giving back to the community. There was a lot of projects, different types of projects, which, I don't want to go into detail of everything, but it's basically the Sanjit Train of Hope is providing hope for the hopeless. So hopeless can range from a 6-month-old baby to a 60-year-old, because we did with the old age people, and we just kind of provide hope. So each time we did that, it brought healing. And the more we saw the healing, it's like we were motivated to do more and more. And we expanded the project into different types of, charities. And we don't accept donations, because people want to say, listen, I want to give something to Sanjit Train of Opposite, but it's a personal. I do put it on Facebook when we do this, because we want his name to fly. I want everyone in the world if I could get to the world to know Sanjit Pakkiree. And so far, we're doing a great job because let me tell you, it is going to different parts of the world.
Wow. And you're right. I mean, it is being recognized as well. It's such an amazing initiative as well. And the fact that you're funding, you and your husband Mark are funding this on your own, that's absolutely amazing. How many people out there will really think of doing something like this? Not many, right? So congratulations and well done on carrying your son's name forward. Firstly, the second part is, I'm very proud that I'm connected with you guys because I see the work you're doing. It's absolutely amazing. And it's work, it's human work that's needed out there, right? To grow this country, to grow Africa, to grow the world, we all have to play our part and impact humanity in some way. And you guys are taking the lead in this. So a lot of people can learn from this and do the same as well. I just want to touch a little on losing a son, right? Because I know it's not easy, but I want to talk about the positive, more on the positive, right? Because you guys got through this. A lot of people out there lose loved ones, and they don't know how to deal with depression. They don't know how to deal with the sadness. They're just stuck, right? And from what I'm picking up from you guys is, yes, you lost your son, you went through the grieving process, you went through all the emotions, and you did not stay stuck there. Now that's absolutely amazing, right? Because you decided how best to move forward and move forward by carrying your son's name. How would you help other people that are still stuck in this, let's call it mindset, that they've lost a loved one and they cannot move forward? What would your advice be to them?
Okay, you know what I learned from my journey after losing my child? Of course, it's a shock. And of course, everybody deals with the grief in their own way. And we can't judge the way they deal with it. But there's one thing I would like to say is that, you know what? Every single thing in life has a choice attached to it. It's like this when when I actually in my books, in my motivational talks that I do, I say to people, I ask people, I say, how come, when a person breaks their leg, they get a wheelchair and then they try to maneuver through life, incorporating the wheelchair in their life. Or if they get blind, then they put on, they got it. They try to work with it, work with what they have. So when I lost my son, it was also like obviously losing, worse than losing a limb. It was losing part of everything, every part of me. My heart was broken into a million pieces. So what do we do with it? Because when I got up 10 days after he passed, I realized that I still had to brush my teeth. I still had to eat. I still had to shower. And I still had to do all of these things without him. So I can live the next 10, 20, 30 years waiting for this return of something that's never going to come back. Because when we start to do that, we think like, you know what, let's put put a table or a chair at the table in case, people got this emotions run wild. So you think like one day when the door opens and my son is going to come walking through, it's a wish.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wish that. Obviously, if you lose a parent, if you lose a dog, if you lose a brother, a sister, all of that pains you, you wished you could go back in time. But because when you make that decision that you say, I can't go back in time, so what do I do? If God stood in front of you and he asked you, listen, and he told me, listen, Roshni, I just want to tell you something. You're still going to have a life for the next 30 years, but you're not going to get your son back. And if he told me that because I had it from the source, what am I going to do with it? So I realized, so the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, how am I going to live this life? Am I going to, yes, I'm going to love my child. Yes, I'm going to miss my child. Yes, I'm going to be continuing with the broken heart, but I am not going to live the next whatever amount of years I have left pining and making myself miserable, making the other people around me miserable, where I can do so much more to ease what I feel. It will never go away.
Yeah.
People they always look at me and you know what they say? Oh, I wonder what she's going to do next because she's behaving rather inappropriately because I'm forward. But they don't realize something. I've accepted.
Yeah.
I'm not in denial. I've accepted what has happened to me. So now what do I do with it? If I broke a leg, okay, fine. How come you'll go to the doctor, you'll give you, say, listen, you need to be in the wheelchair, you need to get a, artificial limb. You okay with that? So it's the same principle. When I lost my child, I needed it. I'm doing it artificially now. I'm incorporating the loss and moving forward. So that's the bottom line. It's not cold. It's facts of life.
Absolutely.
And death has been around for how many years? Can you even tell? Because if death wasn't around, then we'll have all the people from the year 0001. So unfortunately, I'm there. I'm the one that had to go through this. But I do not blame anyone. I just realized it's my journey that I have to live. And Roshni is not the only one in the world who lost a child. We can make we can create there's millions out there. And so I'm one of them. So I'm going to take it with me further.
Absolutely. There's so many good points you mentioned in there as well, and it's facing life, right? Reality. Reality will always be there. It's how you deal with reality, and you've dealt with it really well. And everyone has their own ways, but all we're saying is, yes, go through your grieving process, go through your emotions, but move on. Don't stay stuck there. We all have lost loved ones, and I always say to my family that if anyone passes on in my family, I'm now better equipped to handle that loss than I was ever before, because I taught myself how to become more stronger, like you guys have done as well. And of course, death is inevitable. It's gonna come and catch every single one of us. When it happens, we don't know, but we gotta be prepared on how to deal with it as well. So thank you for inspiring us on this journey, especially to parents out there who lose their children. You can take a lot of from what Roshni has just said now, and think about it and move forward with your life. And we're not saying at all forget about the loved one, not at all, but just move forward stronger than ever. So now I want to go back to this thing that I saw on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. On my timeline here pops Roshini Pakkiree, and now she's taking part in Mrs. South Africa 2023. And I think to myself, wow, there's no stopping this woman, right? She's just on a roll. And I was so impressed and I felt so proud, because prior to you getting into Mrs. South Africa 2023, you had been on my show, right? So first before then. Anyway. So has taking part in competitions always been part of you, or was it something you picked up at a later stage and decided that you could do well in it?
Oh, no, never. You know what my thing was, the South African Police Services when I was young, when I just finished school, it was, I just wanted to be, I just wanted to be a policewoman. And, it's very strange because, from there to there, but that's all I looked at. And so when, I left the police and I was busy with all the other things in my life. And then it's like somebody approached me and they said, why don't you just do a competition and, at your age and, for your age group, there's a competition. And then I entered this first competition and then it was this, stunning goddess. And then strange but true, I won it. So then there was the influential woman. Okay, that's not a beauty pageant, but it was like gaining this, gaining a platform to share my stories and all of that. So when this Miss South Africa pageant came about, actually it was one of my friends. We have a mutual friend, Pravita, who said to me, listen, Roshni, you must, she sent me this link and she said, you must enter this. And then I thought like, no, because they asking for age, that you must be, the maximum age is 50. And I said, I can't enter. Then I saw this year that they extended the age to 50, up until 55. So then I stood a chance. So
Wow.
then, so 2 days before the cutoff date, Mark actually, encouraged me to enter, and then he actually did the techno work with everything because I couldn't get it right. And then they called me. The next thing I know, they sent me an email and said, "Listen, Roshni, you must come for the casting on the 3rd of Feb." And I was like a bit stunned because my photos were all over the place. It wasn't like up to standard. And so then when they sent me the email, so Mark said, "Let's go," and I went to Johannesburg, and there was a casting on the 3rd of February. And that afternoon, they told us, okay, there was like an interview. And that afternoon, they said, okay, we made the top 100.
Wow.
And so then, yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Congratulations on that, and well done on making the first move. And a huge shout out to Pravita Modu. I'm not sure if she's watching, but she is our mutual
yeah.
friend, and she's always like motivating people out there to do better and better as well. So who knows? One day you're gonna return the favor and tell her to take part in it as well, right?
Yes. She definitely qualifies.
No doubt, no doubt. So, I mean, it would have taken a lot for you to enter Mrs. South Africa, right? Uh, what do you want to get out of this? And the way
Oh,
I see it as well, and I'm going to be very biased, I want you to win this competition, right? So,
okay.
what's going to happen after you win it? I'm putting it out to the universe.
Okay. Look, I'll be honest with you. When I went there and I saw like we all these ladies, and then they range from the ages like 26, 27, and then up until my age. And I saw all these women, and let me put it to you this way: when I looked to my right, I saw gorgeousness and beauty and elegance and competition. Then I looked to my left and I saw gorgeousness, beauty, competition, elegance. But you know what I said to myself? I'm not here to compete with these women because we are a little bit not on the same playing field if you look at the age group. And I felt a little bit insecure at the fact that I was now, uh, way above their age, and some of them can be my daughters. So what I did was I'm not looking left and right. I'm looking at my journey. And so far, it's been like 3 weeks. So far, it's been incredible. I met incredible women, and they put so much focus on a sisterhood, and that we all must, stick together and support each other. And I made beautiful inside out friends. And so what I'm looking at, I know from now till wherever the judging takes place, I'm going to get out so much from this. And the journey toward the end is going to be miraculous more than what is the result. So however far I can go, I'm just taking a leap of faith. I'm jumping in all out. And all that know me knows that literally I jump in head first with everything. I jumped in head first, even with my marriage. I met my husband and I married him 6 months later. So much for a leap of faith. And here we are, married almost 26 years. So everything I do, I apply the same principle to everything in my life. I take a risk. And you know what? If I'm this is, for me, it's not a competition. It's just this wonderful journey that I can do. If not now, it's one of my last chances because, just now I'll be at 55 and I'll be totally expired. So I'm rather taking it now. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I have to, we advertise for the brands and social media. It's all something that I love to do. And I'm enjoying it fully, and I made wonderful friends. And the Mrs. South Africa group, or the pageant, the people that are organizing everything, they are nothing but phenomenal women who they just lift you to a level you never thought you could be. You just feel confident, and you feel you feel they give you so much sisterhood. You just want to like go out there and, if I should put it that way, strut your stuff. And that's what I'm looking to do. And I'm enjoying it.
I like that. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty that every single pageant should adopt as well, right? This sisterhood and this being together. Roshni, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, sorry, your video went off for some reason. But
I don't know.
so this is something that everyone should adopt out there as well. And I like that this is the mindset of everybody that's taking part in this. Because to me, any pageant is really not about your beauty, because beauty is in your heart, right? It starts from within.
Yes.
And that's what the judges really need to recognize. And I always say this when I do speak at events, etc., and there's a competition, I always say to the contestants, the only competition that you have in this bigger competition is yourself. Because the fact that you got up to take part in this makes you a winner already. So for everyone out there that's taking part in the competition, we wish you the best of luck. And just remember, the only competition is really yourself as well. So amazing. We wish you all the best for the competition. How do people vote for you or any of the contestants as well? Is there a voting line open?
Yes. You actually, I don't know this video. I don't know why you can't see me. Is it still that you can't see me?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Is the video not off on your side?
No, I'm checking it. It's not off, but okay, let me just continue. So the SMS line is that they must SMS Roshini Pakkiree, my name, to 47587.
So the SMS is to Roshini Pakkiree at 47587.
Yes.
Okay.
And
is
they
there
can
any
give
space?
No, just my, go to that, just my name, Roshini, space, and my surname.
Okay, perfect. We'll actually have that at the end of the video as well. We'll put in the contact details. And, to everyone watching, go out there and make your vote count. When I look at Roshini, it's not only about just going there and winning a beauty contest. If you look at what we spoke about in the first half of our chat today, there's so much of inspiration that can come from that alone. And when you are voting for somebody, you look at things like this. What have they done to impact humanity? What have they done to make a difference in the world? And surely Roshini has done this. And that's what inspires me a lot about her. And I hope it inspired every single one of you out there as well today. Roshini, any last words for the audience?
Okay, firstly, persevere to the women out there, because it's a Mrs. South Africa. Never doubt anything. You can be a mother, you can be a wife, you can be a working woman, and you can be everything, and you can still have time for yourself and, enjoy your life. And don't ever think that you are less than, because it doesn't matter how old you are or whatever everyone's got an ID to bring to the table. And so make sure you know your ID, and make sure that you have fun with whatever life brings to you, and, take it with, just take it in a positive sense, and please continue to vote for me.
Very well said. Very well said. Roshini, thank you so much. It's a pity that the video went off.
Yes, I don't know what
to the
happened.
audience
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. To the audience that's listening, Roshini's actually got the sash on for the Mrs. South Africa 2023 semi-finalist. So I hope you got a chance to see that. That's just one of the many sashes that she does wear as well. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate you, and we wish you all the best. We wish all the contestants all the best as well. And just remember that you all are winners. To everyone listening in today, please follow us. Go and look for the handle Straight Talk with Nolan. Follow our socials and have a look. Go back to YouTube and have a look at the interview Roshini did with us a year ago on the 3rd of Feb 2022. In fact, the 3rd seems to be like a lucky number for you, or a lucky day, because it was on the 3rd when you got to South Africa, right?
Yes. And now it's And so it's something about the number 3. I'm sure that it's good luck.
It's your lucky number. It's your lucky number.
Yeah. Thank you.
We really appreciate it, man.
And thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone, for listening.
Thank you, Nolan, for this opportunity once again. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. And we'd like to wish everyone a very good evening, a very good afternoon, and a good morning wherever you are in the world, because we know our audiences are global. So thank you once again and have a good evening. Cheers, everyone.